I'm Chef Tish Tansil, and welcome back to Urbanesque Living. And right now, what we're going to do is season our cookware. And you're wondering, why do you need to season your cookware? You season your food. Well, when it comes to working with cast iron, you have to actually season the cookware. And the seasoning term just means you get it ready for cooking. Cast iron is ancient. People have been cooking on cast iron for thousands of years. And it's actually healthier to cook with cast iron because the minerals from the cookware actually seep into your food. It's not a bad thing. We all need some extra iron in our diets. And cooking with cast iron gives you that. Plus it gives it such a deep, rich flavor to your cooking. So what we're going to do today is show you how to season your cast iron cookware. Now I have a number of pieces that I have that are family pieces and that are new pieces that I recently purchased, because on the show we are going to be using cast iron because I'm really into flavor and I'm into health as well. And this cast iron works on my induction cooktops. And it also works outside on the barbecue, it works on the gas, and it works on electric. So all the way around, using cast iron is probably more efficient. The only thing that might be a little bit of a negative is that it tends to be a little bit on the heavy side. So it's not going to be as lightweight as your carbonized steel, but you are going to get a great flavor from it. Now this is a cornbread maker. It's very old. It's my grandmother's, and I've never really used it, and so I figured this is a good time. But as you can see, the rust has kind of taken over, and on the front and the back. So I scrubbed it to make sure that nothing was in the crevices of the corn. So what we're going to do is start the seasoning process. Now I'm using a brush with this just to make sure that the oil gets into all of the crevices. And so I'm making sure, and this is just an olive oil. You can use any type of a cooking oil to season the cast iron. And so once you get all of that taken care of, we're going to set this into the oven. Some cookware already comes pre-seasoned. Over time, as you cook with the cast iron, it's going to get this dark color. Okay, so we're going to set that into the oven and just let it bake. Now this one I already pre-seasoned, and so it has some oil in it, and it was a little bit on the rusty side as well. But the beautiful thing about cast iron cooking is that as soon as it gets a little bit of oil, that rust is gone. And I just put it on the oven at 350. Now this is a wonderful little crate maker that I found at the flea market. And the flea market is actually a really great place to find cast iron, because a lot of times people don't want to use it, or they might want brand new shiny cookware. The stainless steel is beautiful, I have to admit, but you're not going to get the same health properties out of it. Okay, so that's coated as well.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
This is some new cast iron cookware that I recently purchased. This is already seasoned. And these are already seasoned as well. So you don't have to do anything to these. Now this was a cute set that I've recently purchased over the holidays, And this is a panini grill. And instead of you buying one of those fancy panini grills that cost about $100, I got this for about $11. Was at a discount store over the holidays, but it is already pre-seasoned. And it comes with a press. And so you can actually make your paninis right there in your own grill, and you get that fresh feeling or that fresh taste. And you can also use this outside. So we're going to let our cookware that is being seasoned sit in the oven for about an hour, and we're going to turn it down and then let it sit. And the thing with cast iron is that you really don't want to submerge it in water, or you don't want to put it in your dishwasher. You don't want to actually promote the rust, because when it's pre-seasoned, you can scratch it in a sense, and that is going to rust a little bit. And so you're always going to want to put a little bit of oil on it. And even though these are pre-seasoned, just from growing up in my mother's house, all of her cast iron has a little bit of an oil slack on it. And that's just basically treating it so that even though it is pre-treated or pre-seasoned, it's going to, just cook a little bit better. And so we're just going to treat all of this with a little bit of oil. And we're just using a brush. You don't have to use a brush. You can actually pour it in, but it's a little bit more efficient to use that brush because it's going to get into all these nooks and crannies. And I have a couple of grills, and when you have the grills, you have these ridges in here, and that's where you're going to get your grill marks. And also, because this type of cookware heats so well, and it distributes that heat throughout your food, you really don't have to use as much oil in order to fry your foods. You just basically need a coating of oil. And so therefore that's going to save you some calories as well. And this is really terrific for grilling vegetables, and we're going to get into that later. But today I just wanted you to get on the same playing ground that I'm on so that we can cook together. And so we've got our pots, we've got our pans, we've got our induction cooktop, and so on the next show we are going to get cooking. Join me.